Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to use Noteflight to make all the durations we've studied. And we've studied the whole note, which sounds like do, woo, woo, woo. And there's a whole note right there. We studied the half note, sounds like do, woo. And there's a half note right there. We've studied the quarter note, which sounds like do. And there's a quarter note right there. We've studied the eighth note, two eighth notes, which sound like do day. There's a do day pair. And we've studied 16th notes, which sound like do to data. And there's do to data right there. We've also studied combinations of 16th and 8th notes, do ta and day, and do data. There's an 8th note followed by 2/16. So to do this, we're going to go to 4th grade music. We're going to scroll down until we see our link to our Wallingford K6 Music First classroom. Going to log in, first initial, last name. My password's different than yours. Okay, when we get there, we're going to click on Software up in the top left corner. We're going to click on Noteflight. We're going to click on New Score and Treble Clef and OK. And here we are. Now over here in the top left corner, you'll see the durations that we've studied. And if you hover over them, you'll see what they're called: 16th note, 8th note, quarter note, half note, whole note. Now when I click on this first rest in this measure, look what happens to my durations. Whole rest, half rest, quarter rest, eighth rest, 16th rest. Now if you don't see durations over here in your controls, click over on your left-hand menu and make sure there's a check mark next to duration. And there you go. Okay, so now I'm going to click in this measure, and I'm just going to use my computer keyboard, and I'm going to write the note A, and it puts a quarter note in the second space right where A goes. And I'm off to a good start because I wanted a do, and there's a do. So now I'm going to use my right arrow at the bottom right of my keyboard to use the right arrow over there, and now I've highlighted my quarter note rest. And what I'm going to do is, to make this do days, I'm just going to click on eighth note, and now I've turned that quarter note rest into two eighth rests, and I'm just going to put B's for both. Now if I've clicked on the duration eighth note, as long as I keep making eighth notes, I don't have to use my right arrow. But if I want to change the duration, I use my right arrow and I click over. Now I can click back too if I use my left arrow. And I can also use my up and down arrows to change the note. But anyway, I'm using my right arrow. I'm going to this half rest, which I'm pleased to keep, and I'm going to put the note C on that. Now I've got a do day pair, and a do oo. Okay, because I'm going to change the duration again. I'm going to use my right arrow and go to this next measure. Now I'm going to turn this into 16th notes. And you see I've created two, and then an eighth rest, and then a quarter rest. So I'm just going to write 4 16th notes in a row. D, 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 D. And now I've got do to data. And then I'm going to, since I'm going to use, I'm going to try to make a do to day next. So I'm just going to keep my duration what it is, and I'm going to go do, ta, but now I'm going to use my right arrow and go to the eighth note, and now I have a do today. Now watch, I'm going to do something cool. I'm going to highlight this note, the outside notes. I'm going to hit shift, and I'm going to highlight that note, and now I've highlighted my whole do to data. I hit command and C, and then I click on there, and look, I've made another one. I'm going to move that up to F. And then I'm just going to click right on it. Nothing was highlighted, which is why I got that warning. So I'm just going to highlight this with my clicker. And then I'm going to make a due data. So I'm going to make a eighth note. I'm going to start coming back down the scale again, due. And then I'm going to turn this into 2/16 notes. And then I'm going to end on a duration of a whole note. So I'm going to click on that whole note. I'm going to put a C there. So now I've got all my durations. And let's see what this sounds like. Okay, not a bad little start. I can evaluate how it sounds. But either way, I'm off to a pretty good start because I've got all these different fun durations to play with. And we're just getting started. So go ahead and see if you can make all these durations on a piece. Notice that I've also pretty much kept it kind of like a letter ladder, going up and down. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. When you're done, hit connect, hit change, hit individuals, and write my name in there. I'm going to write Miles Donahue since I can't share with myself. Now you've shared with me. Hit save. It'll ask you to enter a title. You're going to call it durations. And you're going to go save. And you're all good. Okay, enjoy.